Lori here. I wanted to show you a wreath today that is going to be in the shape of an apple. So it is almost time for school to be out, and I always like to make a homemade gift for my boys' teachers, and this year I've decided I'm going to do a wreath like an apple. So I'm going to use burlap ribbon. This is 5.5 inches and it's 15 feet. I'm going to need about 4 of these because I'm going to use the 18-inch wire wreath form. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our wreath form and we're going to take our burlap. There we go. Okay. So this is very similar to another video that I've done that has burlap, but of course this is colored. It's a red color. And we're going to be doing a little bit different with this, but it's going to be a very similar technique. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our burlap and we're going to put one side in this way and one side in this way. So can you see? It has half on one side of this second ring and half on the other side. And all you're going to do is take it and you're going to pull it up like this, and then you're going to push it over. So pull up like this and push it over. And you want it to be pretty tight. So you just want to keep pushing it over, because what we're going to do is we're going to hide all of this little wire. So just keep pulling and pushing over. Pull and push over. Just like that. When you get to the next section, you're just going to do the same thing. You don't have to make any cuts. You don't have to use ties or anything. You just pull it through the same way, just like that. And you just pull and push over. And you want to keep pushing it over and then kind of spreading it out to see what it looks like. So see here, you can't see any of the wire right here. So you want to keep doing that until you get as much as you can in that section so that your wire's not going to show. So I'm going to keep going around the top, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do in the next section. Okay, so I've gotten the entire inner circle done, and I went ahead and started on the outer circle, but I left several sections so that I can show you how I did it. So I ran out of the roll right here, so I'll show you what you do when you do that. You just pick up your next roll and you're going to do the same thing. Now when you're on this outer layer, you're going to push half in to the section that you've already done, and then you're going to put the other half on the other side. So you'll be going, because these have 4 rings, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do the first row in this middle section, so it'll be the second and third, in between the second and third, and then this one is going to go in between the third and fourth rings. So you're just going to do the same thing. Just pull up and push over. And the great thing is, even though I have 2 rolls together, you really can't tell. That is one of the great things about this method. So I will just keep doing this and keep pulling over until I get it all the way done. It is a little bit more difficult to pull in the section that you've already have some in, but just keep working with it because you'll be glad. It is well worth it. And you can do this with a 4-inch. This is 5.5 inch. You can do this with 6-inch. It gets a little bit large if you do it with anything else. You can also do this with deco mesh. It does not have to be burlap. So I will keep going, and as soon as I'm finished with this section and get all the way around, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do to make this into an apple. Okay, so I've gotten all the way around. You can see what it looks like. Now I want to show you what to do when you get to the end. So one thing I want to show you is you're going to have some lumps around where these joints are. So all you have to do is just kind of push them in, and this burlap will just hide right underneath it. Then you'll have a nice smooth back, just like that. Just keep pushing it in. It'll go in and make a nice smooth back, just like that. And this burlap is really good, especially since you made it tight. It will stay like this. So just keep going around and push everything in like that. Okay. See, that looks a lot cleaner. And then if you have a door that's glass, when you look in the back, it will look nice and neat. Like that. So when you get to the last piece, what you're going to do is you're going to take a zip tie, and I like to twist it just a little bit, run my zip tie around that 4th ring, tie it down just like that. Make sure it's tight, because I don't want my nice tight to come out. Then I'll just trim this off, trim this, and then what I'll do is I'll push this around so that it won't poke my door. See? That looks really nice. Okay, so now that we've gotten this together, the next step is going to be to cut the little leaves that are going to come out the top and make it look more like an apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some green deco mesh in 2 different colors, and I'm going to make the leaves. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them at 10 inches. So of course I like to roll mine together just because it just makes everything a lot faster. And I have my nice little mat here that I can measure with. So I'm going to measure out 10. And I'm going to start with a clean edge, and I'm going to use my rotary cutter. It gives a nice smooth cut. Just makes it a little bit easier to measure if you start out with a nice clean edge. So I'm going to go to 10 right here and cut that. Okay. So now what you're going to need is you're going to need a tie. You're not going to need a whole lot of it, so you can take one and cut it in half, just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your 10-inch deco mesh that you cut in half, and you're going to take one end and bend it in the middle, and the other end and meet it in the middle, just like that. Squeeze it together like that. Then you're going to take your tie and tie it around real tight, just like that. You want both ends to kind of come up like this, because when we put this on here, see how that looks like leaves? I just like the contrast of having a lighter green and a darker green. You don't have to do that. You could just do the one, but I like to do both. So I'm just going to take this and tie it off, just like that. Tie it real tight. Okay, I'm going to take both of these, make sure they're going in the direction that I want them to go, like that. Okay, and you're going to take your wreath, and you're just going to pull it through, okay, push it down so that it makes that leaf stand up, just like that. Then I'm just going to kind of twist it around for right now, and I will come back and finish that off like that. See how that looks? Okay, and then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go in the same place and tie it as well. Just like that. Okay, and I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to twist it around. But what you're going to do when you get ready to finish it is twist it around several times and then just tuck it in. It'll tuck in very nicely. You can go behind there and put a little hot glue on it if you would like. It'll keep it standing up, just like that. See, isn't that cute? Okay, so I'm also going to put a chalkboard sign right in the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do ABC right on the bottom here. And so I have several choices I can pick from. I have some wood letters that I can paint and glue on here. I have stencils and a couple different kinds of stencils, and you can use any of these that you would like to. But today I'm going to use these wooden letters. So I'm just going to find the ones that I need. I just want to do ABC. So there's A, B, and I know there's a C in here. There it is. Okay. So now that I have my letters picked out, I have some yellow paint. I'm just going to put my letters down, put a little paint on them. And then once I get them painted, I'll just put them right on my board, right here at the bottom. A, B, C. So I'm going to work on painting these and get it glued down, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so I've got my letters painted and I hot glued them on. So I think that looks really cute. And I wanted to show you that what I ended up doing is I put my two leaves together like this. So I kind of just bunched it up like this and then tied my tie and tied it really tight so that it would stay just like I wanted it to. And I decided that I think the best thing to do is to put a little stem on it so it looks even more like an apple. So I'm going to take a little hot glue and I have a little stick I'm going to use, and I'm going to put it right there so I can start to make a little stem. And I have some adhesive spray. Just gonna spray that on there and then start rolling it. And it's sticky, so I try to be as careful as I can. And the last little bit, I'm going to use the hot glue just to make sure it stays closed. I didn't want it to be too tight because I do want it to actually look like a stem. Ooh, that's hot. So I'll just keep rolling it until I get it the way I want it to look. There we go. Just like that. So now we have a little green stem to put on our apple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to tie them at the bottom. Now I'm going to put this in the back so that it looks like a stem with some leaves on it. Just like that. See? Look at that. So I'm going to tie it in the back. Just tie it real tight. Okay. So once I get that done, and I wrap it around my little stick, get it where I want it to be, I'm going to put just a little bit more hot glue just at the bottom of my stick. Make sure it stays exactly where I want it. Just like that. And then, once it's glued down to where I want it to be, I'm going to turn my apple over. I'm going to figure out where I want it to be. I'm going to take another pipe cleaner, thread it through like this, and then I'm going to tie it on. And I'm going to hide that under there, just like that. I'm going to push it underneath that wire on both sides so that I can just make it a little bit more secure. Like that. Hide it back under. And then when I lift it up, it looks like a stem with leaves. Can you see? Just like that. So now that I've gotten the top part put on, I want to figure out where I want to put my sign. I think I kind of want it to be like this. And there's a few things you can do if you are doing this for one of your children's teachers. You can get these little letters. I got these from Walmart, and they're just little white letters, and you can just take these off and put the teacher's name on it. That looks completely adorable. What I'm going to do is take this string, cut it in half, and then I'm going to hide this tie right underneath I'm going to tie it on. just like this, using the nice little tie that came with it. Figure out exactly where I want it to be. Get my ties all done. That. I'm going to retie this one since it came undone. Okay. Like that. Then my sign sits right in the middle. And what you can do is once you get it tied in tight, you can put a tiny little bit of hot glue right there in the middle. Just like that. And if you want to add just a little bit more, you could always go and add a little bit of ribbon. So I found this adorable ribbon. It has little cute little pencils on it and little apples, and that looks like paper. I also got some red ribbon, as I don't want this to be too outstanding because I want the apple to look like an apple. So I'm just going to make a small little ribbon. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to figure out just how long and how big I want my loops to be. So I think I want them to be about that big. So I will just do my ribbon like this. There's one. And I did pick an underneath that, you know, is reversible. It just makes it a little bit easier. That way when you flip it over and you tie it in the back, you're not going to have to worry about twisting it. So when you make your ribbons, you just want to go back and forth, getting the size that you want. Like this. Hold it in the middle, just to make sure it's the size you want. See, that's good. I don't want a huge ribbon just because I really want this to look more like an apple. So I will just kind of pull it out like this in the middle. And I just want a couple like that. Okay. I'm just going to cut this off like that. And I'm going to take, you can take a pipe cleaner, you can take some floral wire. And I'm just going to kind of fluff these up a little bit, like that. Cover up my little wire. That. Then I'm just going to cut a little tail. So let's see how long I want. A little bit longer than that. Okay, so I'll take about right there. Okay. Then I'm just going to dovetail the ends like this. Okay. Just like that. Then I'll pinch it in the middle. I'll run it right back through this. So that I have a cute little detail at the bottom. Just like that. And then I will just add it right on to the bottom of the wreath. Like that. I think that is so adorable. And I tell you that I have friends who are teachers and they really appreciate it when you make gifts that you make. It's not just a gift card to Target, that they really like this. Last year I made some of these for the teachers, and they are still hanging on their door because I can see them when I go in to get my boys. And I tell you, there's just something so nice about making a gift for a teacher that tells them just how much you appreciate what they've done for your child. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you give it a like and comment. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to show you, or if you have any questions. And I hope to see you again soon. And here is our completed wreath. And just so you can see the top. See how cute that is? I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.